Good morning, my friends. Welcome to a brand new day, a brand new sketch session. It is Thursday, May 29th, 2025. And today we are here in the studio. And I have something I'd like to share with you before we get into the actual sketch session of it all. Actually, no, let me get started. Let me pull everything out. I'm just excited. So, as you may or may not know, I have been known to make dice from time to time. It is a passion of mine, a hobby, but I put it on hold for a while because when we got Pearl, the ball python for the studio here, I was really concerned about fumes and like hurting her or, upsetting her. So for a really long time, I didn't actually like pour any new dice, any new resin. So uh, recently, when we finished Pearl's house and moved her into her proper permanent enclosure, I realized that we had the opportunity now to do that, to make dice again. So the other night, John and I stayed late and made a brand new batch of dice along with one mysterious big chunk. I'll show you here in a second. And it's just really cool, and I really wanted to share it with you. That's all. So let's flip over here. Here, I'll show you the dice when we are waiting for something to dry here in a second, just to like leave it all exciting. But we have today's creature combination is a badger and a frilled or horned lizard. So neither of those are familiar to me. I don't know really what I've never done a badger before. Certainly never a frilled or horned lizard. So let me do a quick look at just let's say frilled lizard. Let me see. Cool. Looks like Jurassic Park. Excellent. And then badger. Just a badger. Okay, so there's like the cute, sweet European badger. And then there's like the beefy American badger. There's a lot of different kinds of badgers. Whoa. All right, well, I'll just pick one and roll with it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. So first, I'm just going to quickly paint a header because I don't have one. Look, we're a bit zoomed in. Let's zoom out a smidge. Morning, Ellen, Linda. Great to see you as usual. All right. Okay. Let's get the day lettered. Okay. A little bit of lettering. Accomplished. While that is drying or doing its thing, just gonna 29th. And all right, let me show you the first thing. So there, I have 3 resin things to share with you. One is the set of dice. One is a chunk, which is a large D20, and then the other one was an experimental thing that we actually. Here, I'll show this to you first because it's the weirdest. We have other silicone molds that we've picked up at like the thrift store and stuff, and one of them is a round whiskey mold, like a round ice cube mold for whiskey. So I didn't have enough resin to fill it because this was just like the leftover, but just want to do a quick look at this funky thing. It still needs to like have the edge taken down. It's still raw, but it looks like a giant eyeball. I don't know. I feel like once I cut this down and smooth it out a little bit and maybe polish the top, that this might be a really cool paperweight. But hey, I guess while I have you, because I'm already zoomed in and focused, let's go ahead and just roll this through. So here's the set of dice. Again, unsanded or anything. These are fresh from the mold, undyed, or the ink on the numbers hasn't been done yet. But it's this really pretty, vibrant blue. Kind of a sort of a blue-green, a little bit with this orange. I was trying to see if I could buffer the orange from the blue with a little bit of pink, but it didn't really work. But that's okay because they still look pretty cool. Really nice, like the blue shimmer is really nice in the dice. But these are pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased with them. But then the D20, the big chunk, that's the one that I am the most excited about. All right. Look at this. We got the one face, this milky white, and then the milkiness kind of comes down into this lovely orange band, which then meets up with this cool blue. And then I have a little bit of like copper foil right there in the D20 side, or in the D20. It's all D20 on the 20 side. But look how cool that turned out. It looks like some kind of a candy. Anywho, I'm just delighted to be making dice again because it's so much fun. I feel like a some kind of a wizard, making weird combinations and seeing what happens. Okay, let's get a frilled badger up in this day, shall we? Okay. Let's just jump forward and see what happens. What's a badger's body look like? Just kind of mammalian, huh? Not really a lot going on. Interestingly, the body type of a frilled lizard and a badger is quite similar, which is to say kind of low and long and stocky. Let's scooch this up a little bit. Hey there, Daring. Welcome. We are doing a frilled lizard slash badger today. Got a weird gap right here. What can I do to fix that? What can I do to fix that? Okay. Let me go ahead and give this the old heat treatment. Okay. All right. So now let's get a little bit of colored pencil up in the house, shall we? And that, a little bit of this, maybe a little bit of this. Yeah. Let's see, can I find a picture of a badger with its mouth open? Okay. Oh, last night, John and I watched a movie that was a real throwback. A movie that I haven't seen since maybe the early 2010s. Uh, Cloverfield. You guys remember that? Monster movie, Tax New York, found footage style. Excuse me. I I remember watching it and being fascinated with it whenever it came out in 2008. It's very 2008 coded too. If you watch it, it's like hilariously so. Just very like all the phones that everyone had that they were like recording on. And what do you guys think of found footage movies? That style, like the Blair Witch Project, or what are some other ones? There's other found footage. There was one that was called Quarantine, of like sort of a zombie-ish outbreak in a building that gets like quarantined, so they're stuck inside. Don't tend to watch them all that much. And some people really just don't like that style, which I get. It can be done really badly. It can be done really, really frustrating. I don't like love it. It's not like my favorite genre or anything, but I do like it. I get you. More Stephen King, a little bit more classic. When it comes to sci-fi, there's a lot of genres that I really like subgenres in the horror and sci-fi realms. But I really um like monster movies. I do enjoy a good monster movie. Like, let's think, what's a good one? Or an alien invasion movie. I'm a big fan of those as well. I remember seeing Invasion of the Body Snatchers. My mom, it was one of my mom's favorite movies. Um, and this the 70s one. And I remember just it capturing my imagination back then. You like the King Kong movies? Those are good monster movies. I mean, I don't know if you call King. Yeah, I guess King Kong is a monster. You find horror movies difficult to watch, but thrillers you really like. Okay. So I guess where does it stop being a horror and start being a thriller for you? Like, is it just like the feeling of being on the edge of your seat, but there's no like jump scares? It's more like psychological, or what? I guess I'm intrigued to know. Gotcha. So basically, yeah, get rid of the jump scares, but still keep that nice mystery, that nice juicy question of what's happening or what happened. Like, I also really like environmental drama, not dramas, but environmental like thrillers or catastrophe movies. I guess is what I mean. Like, The Day After Tomorrow is so silly. Like the premise of it is silly, but it's still I still watch it every once in a while. I still come back to it because it's just so exciting. Okay, that's one badger down. The Dark Knight. The Day After Tomorrow is a fun movie. I like a good man versus nature kind of narrative. It's got a very just compelling kind of story for me. Never seen Earthquake. I've also never seen Gone Girl. Apollo 13. Yep, yep, yep. Twister. And Close Encounters. Is the full title Close Encounters, or is that one Close Encounters of the Fourth? No, I'm thinking of a movie called The Fourth Kind, I think. Yeah, Apollo 13 is a really good one. Also, like, incredibly accurate. John and I recently watched it, and we, like, the next day decided to watch the documentary about it, and it was like a play by play of the movie, or rather, the movie was a play by play of the original, which I love. I guess when something is that dramatic in real life, you don't need to put a lot of flair on it. Third Kind. Okay, there you go. That's what I'm thinking of. That must have been so cool for Joe to work on Apollo 13. Like, dynamite cast, great premise, like the great story that they were making, and really genuinely very intense. Interstellar. That was a really good movie that I will rewatch at some point in my life, but that is not one that I'm going to rewatch that many times because it is so long. I am not a huge fan of long movies. It's actually one of the things I was really enjoying about Cloverfield last night is that it was a 90-minute movie. It was very, very succinct. Devil Wears Prada is a fun one. Not surprised at all that you like that, Ellen. Fashionista that you are. But also Meryl Streep and Hathaway. Great combo. There's a lot that I can enjoy in the TV cinema world, but I am I'm quite picky about what I will rewatch because it needs to be entertaining enough to be worth my time. Okay. Oh my goodness, I am running long. Hey there, Mirror Chat. Mirror Chart. Sorry. I'm just wrapping up. We were just discussing movies and I got a little distracted. You know, I've actually never seen Blade Runner. Kind of a little embarrassed to admit that because that's like classic sci-fi right there. I got no good reason. Drawing a picture of Kurt Cobain right now. That's awesome. All right. I am going to call it there. I know, shame on me. You're right. You're right. I'm going to call it there. Apparently, my voice is still being froggy today, which is fun and interesting and exciting. Gives me an air of mystique, right? Right? All right. I will go ahead and log off here. Ellen Legally Blonde is spectacular. That is, I just got to say, Legally Blonde, fantastic movie. Love it. All right. I will see you all tomorrow for the next sketch session. I will catch you all later. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.